To Hampton Downs. Beautiful day here. Sun is shining. Midsummer in here, New Zealand. We are about an hour south of Auckland, and we are ready for the festivities to begin. A little bit of a breeze, but that's just keeping everybody slightly cooler than they would be. Temperatures are very hot indeed, and the asphalt is hot. I talked to the drivers, and the track is holding up well, and plenty of grip out there. This is a track the drivers love to drive. Not a lot of overtaking opportunities, to be fair. And it really is a case of choosing your moment well here at Hampton Downs. But we've seen a fourth gear very fast. There is a possible overtake into turn one, but again, it's all about timing, and it's all about the line too, because it's a fast sweeping curve. If you go too wide, you can run out of road quite easily and end up in the gravel. If you brake too late or stay on the power too long, it's another precarious corner. Turn two is also a good overtaking opportunity under the bridge and into the tight right-hander into three. And the likes of Brendan Leach, Liam Lawson, and of course Marcus Armstrong, the three Kiwis. They're the only winners so far in our TRS series for 2019. But maybe, just maybe, with the grid as it is for this race, we may see a new winner. Certainly Lucas Auer, who's coming back for his third return to the TRS series, will be hoping it's his day. He's yet to have a win. Here is your grid, and you can see it's Kazuto Kataka on pole position and Lucas Auer of Austria alongside him. Cameron Dass is on the second row with Artem Petrov of Russia, Liam Lawson and Marcus Armstrong. Well, they can't get away from each other, the teammates, can they? They're on the third row together. Then it's Callan Williams, the F3 champion from Australia, Brendan Leach from Invercargill in New Zealand, Esteban Muth from Belgium, Dev Gore from the USA, Raoul Hyman is an 11th position. He started there last time out and got all the way up to fourth place, missing just narrowly out on third and then dropping all the way back to 11th at the end. Peter Petacek of the Czech Republic starts 12th. Then it's Jackson Walls from Australia 13th. Thomas Smith, likewise of Australia, in 14th position. Then Parker Locke of the USA and Petru Florescu at the back, the Romanian, looking to make a name, as all of them are here in TRS. It's one of the most competitive fields we've ever had in the 15-year history of this amazing Castrol Toyota Racing Series. And been talking to the drivers today. They're loving seeing a little bit of New Zealand, but also the intensity of learning so much about racing here in the TRS series. It's pretty darn intense for 5 weeks. You don't get a lot of time off, and therefore it's a big learning curve for all of these young drivers. Some have done plenty of racing before. Others are coming to it almost for the first time in the form of Jackson Walls and a few of the youngsters just turning 16 last week, Jackson. So it's all coming at him fast, for sure. Calm before the storm then. We look to the front row. Lucas Auer will need to get off that line. He's got the outside line. I actually think sometimes here at Hampton Downs, second place on the grid is not a bad place to be, because if you can get a jump on the pole man, you can use the speed around the outside to take the whole shot away from the pole man. But if he gets away well, then obviously he can block you from coming past. But there's a good run down to turn two. That's the first major overtaking place. And I was talking to Liam Lawson earlier about the tactics for this one, because it's a double-edged sword. He and Marcus Armstrong are joint championship leaders on 113 points at the moment, and it's a question of how does someone like Liam and Marcus play it, because they want to get up the field, they want to get into the points again, but they've got to be careful not to make a mistake and race too hard against each other. They've had some near moments, as we saw at Highlands. And they both want it very badly. And just behind them, of course, is Brendan Leach. And Leach also has had a win already. It's only Kiwis that have won in this series so far, as we get ready to go racing. 20 laps for this race. The Castrol Toyota Racing Series. Breeze picking up here, in fact, but I don't think it'll affect anybody. It's a much shorter circuit. The lap times just over a minute in race trim. In qualifying, they do occasionally, I saw Marcus do it in an earlier session, dip under 1 minute. But we're expecting the lap times to be in the 1:0s or the 1:01s. Brendan Leach had a spin at the hairpin earlier in the day, but no harm, no foul, certainly no damage to the car, which is good news. We're also watching out for Raoul Hyman. He's been very impressive, even though his grid position is not so impressive. He's down in 11th on the grid, but we saw at Teretonga, he's capable of taking that position and doing some rather impressive overtaking. How he'll do it here at Hampton remains to be seen. Away they go, everybody cleanly off the line, and here is that first corner, a long sweeping right, and you can see they're weaving from side to side. There's Liam Lawson right behind Marcus Armstrong, the two championship leaders, into the second corner here, and then it just cambers up a little bit as it over the crest there, and then flat out again through the gearbox and into turn 4, which goes up the hill, and then they crest the hill and literally have to brake as soon as they go over the hill into this very tight hairpin, but it's cambered, and you'll see in the middle, right by the apex, there's a little bit of new resurfacing there recently, and I asked the boys if that was a problem. They said no, getting plenty of grip from that, so not a problem for them. And it's going to be interesting to see, because that is a possible overtake as well. And then it's a long run down towards what we call the sweeper here at Hampton. And this is a very fast, long right-hander, and the exit is so important off it, because get the exit out of here, and you can see it for yourself. The exit out of that corner in the background there gives you the run onto the straight, and it's all uphill. And then the long straight, it looks longer than it is. It's got a kink in the middle of it, but it's pretty much flat out from the exit of that corner in your far distance there to the first corner. So a good run out of there, and you can start to make a move towards turn 1 if it's possible. Sometimes it's not. So we are about to get underway here at Hampton Downs. Kotaka in pole position in the green and black. Alongside him, Lucas Auer of Austria, the number 22. Yet to win this season. Can he do it this time? Away they go. Good start from the front row. Great start from Cameron Das. Das is away and on the inside trying to get through, but it's going to be Kotaka who holds off, or Cam Auer get round the outside. He's done it, but they touch, and Auer goes off dramatically again for the second time this season. Lucas Auer ends up in the grass. Cameron Das looks as though he's got the lead. Raoul Hyman is coming through the pit lane. Didn't take the grid, so all sorts of drama. Brendan Leach goes off the track. What on earth is going on? Drama indeed at the start of this. And it's 20 laps to go, and if this is the kind of drama we're going to get, it looks like Muth has gone off as well. More dust in the background as somebody else has gone into the gravel. That is Esteban Muth, the Belgian driver from Castrol Racing. And what a shame. He had high hopes today, did Esteban. But luckily for Armstrong, and certainly for Liam Lawson, things are playing their way. Lawson pulling away now, and after all that drama's over, it looks as though Auer, as the safety car does come out, no surprise there, and that's because of Esteban Muth. He's beached it here, and it looks as though his tyre has been cut by one of the wings of another car. You can see how it's off the rim there in the left rear. And that's turn 4, and so they will try to extricate him as soon as they can. But drama-filled start there from this race at Hampton Downs. So Cameron Dass was the luckiest man. He got a brilliant start from the second row, and he leads the race at the moment. From Liam Lawson, Artem Petrov is up to third. And remember, Artem Petrov has already been on the podium last time out, so there's some confidence in the Russian. Yeah, that's a sorry sight there for Esteban Muth. But, yeah, it looks as though he's touched one of the wings, and they're pretty sharp when they get touched that heavily. So Petrov in third, Marcus Armstrong fourth. Kataka dropped from pole down to fifth place. He got mixed up with Lucas Auer. And further down, trying to find out what's happened to Raoul Hyman. That's the one that worries me, because he was coming out of the pit lane as they started the race. There must have been some sort of mechanical issue for Raoul, which is a real shame, because now he's got it all to do, because he's right at the back. Brendan Leach has also gone backwards. He's down in 10th position. So it's been a rare old start to this one, but no problems for Cameron Dass. Spoke to him earlier today, and I said, how about a podium today? He just looked at me and said, how about a win? So maybe I should have been listening. Raoul Hyman is running, but he's a long way behind. So this safety car is helping the Brit. Everybody filing through, and Lucas Auer is still going. And Lucas Auer is still 13th. Hyman has been in and out of the pits, and now he's catching up. There he is. He's behind the safety car at the moment, but they'll let him go by, and he'll then rejoin the field, but right at the back. So we've had some excitement from Raoul climbing his way through the field in the past few races. Let's see if he can do it again. Really smart guy, and loves his racing. Raced for Carlin in the UK. Well, you can see Esteban Muth's car still stuck for now. They cross the line again under safety. 17 laps to go here. It sounds like a lot, but when you consider that each lap is only a minute, and Kotaka is also now in the pits. So from fifth place comes the Japanese, and how quickly you can go from hero to zero. He started pole position. I wished him luck before the race, and he was all smiles, but I'm sure he's got a frown underneath that helmet right now, because they are pouring over the car just in front of me here in the pit lane. It looks as though they're just making a slight adjustment. Maybe had some adjustment, or had to get the front wing replaced, simply because he did probably have some contact with Lucas Auer. But they have got him out again, and away he goes from the pit lane as they continue to retrieve the Belgian Esteban Muth's car. Another opportunity to overtake coming into here. And it's a red flag now. So the race has been suspended at 17 laps to go. And a red flag out as Esteban Muth's car is taken off the track. But we are red flagged. And I can confirm that they've decided to red flag it because of the incident you're looking at right now. And obviously, it's pretty precarious to have a large digger like that out there. And obviously, they've got to get him back. And so a little bit of caution. They're making sure that they clean up the problem area first, and then they'll get him back out. Kataka is waiting patiently. The Japanese driver at the pit exit. And after all of that drama, it looks as though we've only got one major incident, and that is this with Muth. Can we see what Brendan Leach's car's like, having gone off into the gravel himself? Lucas Auer, likewise, must have sustained some sort of damage, but he's still currently marked as 13th as they line up now on the main straight. And it will be a matter of minutes before we get back to racing here at Hampton Downs. So as you can see, we're underway again, and we'll probably have a restart under safety, so a rolling start to get us back in action. But it's Cameron Dass who leads them round this field, the young American, just 18 years of age. This would be a big moment if he could win one. He was 12th in the championship this time last year, and he's come back for another crack and obviously got a full season in Europe with Carlin Motorsport under his belt. And I think he's just that much more confident. 4 laps have gone, and it's Cameron Dass, Liam Lawson, and Artem Petrov. I can tell you that Raoul Hyman's incident, the reason why he was in the pits was he had an electrical problem, and they had to lift out the seat to look at it. So, yeah, that's why he was not out. And he is now circulating, but right at the back. And so too is Kotaka, in fact, who is even further back. He's right at the back because he, of course, came into the pits when the safety car came out and had an adjustment. I think they changed the nose cone because of contact with Lucas Auer in that incident. Lucas Auer was trying to take the lead, as I kind of imagined he would. Here we go then. Cameron Dass leads them up the hill for the restart of this one. Liam Lawson will chase him down. Good restart from Marcus Armstrong, who makes a move on Petrov into 3rd place. Brilliantly done by Marcus Armstrong. Into 3rd place he goes. That was textbook Hampton Downs by the man from Christchurch. And now Liam Lawson putting big pressure on the leader, Cameron Dass. First time he's led here in TRS, Cameron, so he's really looking forward to this. But that was a really good move by the number 8, Marcus Armstrong. Everybody jostling for position as they head out of turn 4, under racing conditions again. Dev Gore's got a good restart. He's up to 5th place, so the Americans are having a good day so far. Stretching his legs a little, Cameron Dass now. No damage, it seems, to Leach's car, despite the fact that he's been in the gravel at one point. Through goes the number 16, that's Tommy Smith. And side by side with the 86 of Brendan Leach as they head up the hill again. 15 laps to go, and Cameron Dass does a very good lap indeed to extend that lead over the chasing pack. Lucas Auer has moved up to 11th position now. That's a 101.904 in that last lap. Still, more overtakes. Here comes Petrov again. Lucas Auer moving right through the field. And Lucas Auer's on a mission, having started on the front row and then thrown it down the road. He is determined to get a result out of this. It's not been the easiest of starts, and at 24, he's the elder statesman of this group, and certainly the most experienced driver we've had in TRS for quite some time. And just as I say that, commentator's plight, as Lucas Auer is out again. The 22 from Austria, his 2nd incident of the day. If it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any. Kotaka, though, meanwhile, has got past Jackson Walls. So Kotaka has come right from the back, and he's already up to 14th. Here come the leaders. Dass leading. And the gap on Dass, who's just done the fastest lap at 101.327. Cameron Dass at 101.3 is the best time so far. Dass has gone wide, but he's still got something's wrong. He slowed right down. Well, that's because the safety car has come out. So I thought for a moment he was in trouble, but he's okay. And that is because, of course, of Lucas Auer being beached. So Lucas Auer has come to a complete halt right underneath the fans there. And that's at the entry to turn 4. So I don't know how he got himself in that position, but, well, it's not been a good day for the young Austrian. And let's just catch our breath and give you an idea of where we all stack up now. Cameron Dass still leads this race. Kazuto Kotaka has gone forward. Liam Lawson still 2nd. Armstrong now 3rd, having got past Artem Petrov. Peter Petacek, much better showing by the young Czech. He's up to 5th. Dev Gore 6th. So Petacek has got past the American as well. And then Dev Gore is 6th. Leach has recovered well. He's up to 7th place, having dropped down to 12th. Florescu is 8th. Callan Williams 9th, and Hyman is in the top 10, having started effectively from the pit lane. So this race has had everything so far, and 12 laps to go, and another man to take away. We've had one Belgian go, and now we've got the Red Bull man without his wings. Looks as though it is the front of the car that is damaged, that front wing just hanging off. And Lucas patiently waiting in the car. But I don't think he's going anywhere. Well, as you can see, they've got Lucas under power, and he stayed in the cockpit just to basically help them drive back so he can steer, and that'll be a much quicker extrication. But probably the worst thing for any racing driver to have to wander around a racetrack being towed. So Lucas Auer, a very, very good racing driver, has been doing DTM for the last 4 years as a factory Mercedes driver, and he's headed off to Japan to do Super Formula this season. So he'll be up against the mighty Nick Cassidy from New Zealand, and many others who, of course, taking part in that Super Formula series. The laps clicking down here as the safety car continues to circulate with the lights on, which means that we will finish this lap, if not another. But if they do go off, we may get under racing, but it's still no Lucas into the pits yet. There he is, coming out of the last turn. A long, lonely way home. And, yeah, I think Pee-wee and his team are going to put this one to bed tonight and live for another day type thing, because it's just been a rotten day for Lucas Auer. I think he had high hopes starting on the front row. He had a problem. He hit the wall at Highlands and brought out the red flag there. And 2 incidents here at Hampton means he's out of this one as well. But it's the American, Cameron Dass, 18 years of age, leading the way. And he's had plenty of thinking time for sure in this race. It's going to be a 10-lap sprint, and he knows all too well that the man behind him is both capable and ready to make a move on him. Liam Lawson, just 16 years of age, but showing the maturity race-wise of a much older racer, because he's been very impressive here. He's been making all the headlines here in New Zealand motorsport. Looks as though we will do one more lap under safety. As you can see, the lights have not gone out as they cross the line again. And what will Marcus Armstrong do from third here? He's been a wise old head on that 18-year-old's shoulders. He's got probably more experience than most of them. Outside of Lucas Auer has Marcus, having raced in Europe in karts and Tony karts when he first went over there. We were joking about the fact that he spent less time here in New Zealand. It's a bit like Scott Dixon. He has very little time as a professional to get back home, but I think that's part of coming back here, was that he wanted to win the championship, but it's a chance to come home, of course. He's been with Prima and last year's champion Robert Schwartzman, and of course he is a Ferrari Academy driver And it was just announced a couple of days ago that his teammate Mick Schumacher will be in the Ferrari Academy too. So some hefty, lofty names in that academy, including a Fittipaldi and an Alesi. So the lights are out on the safety car, which means we will be racing again with 9 to go. It'll be 8 when they cross the line. Lucas Auer has got back out, and they've got him restarted, so he's going to the end of the pit lane right now, so he may just get back into the race, but of course he'll be right at the back. And the lights are still on the safety car, so we're doing another lap. Interesting. So, slight malfunction on the lights, I think. Not to worry. So that, I think, caught out some of the drivers too, because a couple of them were looking as though they were getting ready to go racing. So that has allowed Auer to come out and get back in. There he is. And Esteban Muth. So we should have a full complement out there. So, just when we thought it was over for Lucas, he's back out. There he is. Now he's just got to pedal his way to the back of the grid. He's certainly got time. So it's a strange thing. I think it was literally just a nose cone that he damaged in that spin. Now the lights are off on the safety car. Lucas Auer now crosses the line, and he's just about got time. Well, I don't think so. He's going to be a long way behind. He's not going to catch up the field for sure, but he has circulated and gone past turn 1, so he will be back at the back of the field. In comes the safety car, and Cameron Dass now controls this race. He slows it down. Lawson's ready for him. So too is Armstrong. Here we go, racing again. Good start from Armstrong. He's side by side with Lawson on the outside, but can he get round the outside? Lawson closes the door and stays on the inside and stays second. Everybody cleanly through the first corner and all jostling for position. Into turn 2 they go here at Hampton. Dass leads from Lawson. Armstrong's right there. Good restart. Brendan Leach has got away well. There he is, chasing down Peter Petacek of the Czech Republic. Dass dives into the hairpin. And this is a good battle starting to ensue between Leach and Petacek. Brendan, oh, and a spin, and that is the number 54. Nasty move, nasty moment there. And that was strange. I don't know if he had contact with another car, because he suddenly just spun out of nowhere. Oh, that is a big off. And again, the safety car comes out. Well, if you wanted drama, we've got it right here at Hampton. And if Cameron Dass does win this race, he's going to deserve it, because his concentration and adrenaline is going from high to low to high to low, and it must be very hard. Now just 6 laps to go, and it may be very few laps before we get to racing again. Esteban Muth is pedaling hard, so too is Lucas Auer. Kotaka's back in the pits. Plenty of drama. The incident involved Callan Williams, the number 54 from Australia, the Formula 3 champion from Perth, Australia, but you can see that car is going nowhere. Back wing's gone, right rear and front rear damaged. Kotaka is in and out, so he'll go down the pit lane again. If anything, this is played into the hands of Lucas Auer, because he's caught up. It's going to take them some time, though, to take that car away, because it's got to be, can't drive it back, so he's got to get it hoisted out of there, which is going to take some time. Whether it takes 5 laps, I don't know. There's Lucas Auer, so he'll catch up now with the field, finally. He's going slow because he knows there's no rush. Like I said, this has got to be so hard for Cameron Dass. He's doing everything right, but he's almost having to wait every 2 laps to go racing again. And he knows that every time there's a restart, he becomes precarious at that point, because that's the hardest time for any racing driver, because obviously the restart is where you win and lose often. And so we await the restart of this one, but it's the number 54, Callan Williams, who is needed to be taken out of here so that we can go racing again. What a mess that is. Everybody down there to making sure the driver's okay and that they can get as much of that car taken away. Luckily, it's not in a racing line position. It's on the back straight just before the long sweeper, and well, as long as they can get to him quickly, they will get a chance to race again, I'm sure. So we await the resumption of this one with Cameron Dass still leading here at Hampton Downs. And now the red flags come out, so same situation as we were with Muth. So we will line up again on the front straight and wait for the extrication of Callan Williams' car, and then we will go racing again, and then it will be a sprint race between Cameron Dass and the 2 Kiwis.
That be a lesson to you, Joel?
So we await the resumption of this race as they take Callan Williams' car away. And they have got it on the truck now, and should be a matter of moments. There it is, before they can get this race back underway. And this has been a tough one for any of these youngsters, because what they are good at is racing. What they're not good at is being patient. And like I said, if Cameron Dass does win this race, he's going to deserve it, because he's kept his head with 2 very hard-charging Kiwis behind him. But they too are also being sensible and not making any rash moves, because they know, and the one thing that I know about this championship with 5 weeks is a mistake like our made just then can really put you on the back foot. It's so hard to recover from a non-finish at a TRS race and try to stay in the points. We've seen it so many times before. Looks as though they're also swapping safety cars out there. Possible, yeah, it looks as though one of the safety cars has picked up a flat tyre from probably the debris out there while doing the safety car. Obviously, they are on the same track as where the damage was occurred, and that is the case. So off comes one, on goes another. Good job we got a spare. And I can confirm that is a flat tyre, sadly. So the cars are all restarted, and away we go under safety for now. Officially on the clock, 4 laps to go. It's going to be a sprint. Cameron Dass has done the hard work. He still leads this race in what has been the most dramatic, in many ways, races of the series, certainly so far. Many stoppages for different incidents, and not easy to keep one's concentration for sure. The good news is the likes of Raoul Hyman are climbing the board. Brendan Leach has managed to recover to 6. Those are valuable points for Leach, and especially now that Lucas Auer is out of this race, and without putting too fine a point out of it, he's going to be struggling to stay in the top 6 with 2 DNFs now to his name. Cameron Dass has had a steady start to his second season. Liam Lawson's had an awesome start. And he and Marcus Armstrong level on points. And Marcus is all too aware of that going into the races here at Hampton. All Kiwi winners so far, but a chance for a young American to make his name here at Hampton Downs. And of course, over the weekend they'll be racing for some historic silverware. Cameron would love to get his hands on some of that. One more lap under safety. It literally is going to be a 2-lap sprint. Parker Locks having a good result so far. He's into the top 11 at least. Kotaka's back out on track. Jackson Wall's in the top 10. Florescu 9th. Raoul Hyman is the man on the move again. He's got from his position of 12th originally up to 8th position, just behind Dev Gore. And the restart will be all too important again for anyone wanting to make some major points up in this race. Great opportunity though, with just 2 laps. It's going to be nail-biting stuff, I'm sure. The lights are off now on the safety car. Even the safety cars had some drama. We've had a puncher. Had to get another one. There'll be 2 laps left to go. Now Cameron Dass controls the field. The safety car accelerates away. They come up the hill. And it's the man from Baltimore who leads them. Oh, no! Oh, Cameron Dass spins out. And at the restart, he gets hit. And so is Liam Lawson. I think Lawson hit Dass at the start. Wow, this is like Shakespeare. There's so much drama. Well, Das is out, and that was, you've got a feel for him there. He had this one looking good, but Liam Lawson, well, it'll be interesting to see how they view that. But again, the red flag comes out, no surprise, and that could put a bit of an end to that one. Well, I'm afraid you've got to think that Lawson had a lot to do with the reason that Cameron Das is parked right there and out of this race. Because the rules are that the man in the lead of the race, once the safety car comes off, controls the race. He then decides when to accelerate, and that may have been a little bit too quick and too early for Liam Lawson. But in come the rest of the cars, and that could put an end, and I think it will, to this race here. Drama indeed at Hampton Downs. So confusion reigns a little bit because officially on my board it says Artem Petrov, but of course they were crossing the line as they hit each other. And of course Liam Lawson and Cameron Das. And so we await the official result, but I can tell you we will be back at 6 p.m. with a press conference, so tune in for that. I think that could be interesting, don't you? So that's what we've got here for you from Hampton Downs. A dramatic race indeed, sadly coming to an abrupt end when Liam Lawson and Cameron Das came together as they crossed the line to restart the two-lap sprint.